जय राध माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना। यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना। यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलादेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। तथा गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचर अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद श्री भक्त वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचर अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद श्री भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। Thy Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Guru and Gauranga. Gopal Vijay. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Panchachate Tarane. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskutya Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jemudirayat नष्टाप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी हरि ओम तत्सत्. Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, knowledge of the absolute, verse number 13 and 14. This is the third section of this chapter, a very important chapter. We'll read the verses, and then we'll try to understand significant verses. त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैर् सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति माम् एभ्य परमाव्ययम्. Somebody is unmuted. Okay. त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैर् सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्य परमाव्ययम्. त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैर् सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्य परमाव्ययम्. Word to word. Three गुणमयी, consisting of the gunas, bhavai, by the states of being, evi, all these, sarvam, whole, idam, this, jagat, universe, mohitam, deluded, na vijanati, does not know, mam, me, ebhya, above these, param, the supreme, avyayam, inexhaustible. Translation by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Gopal Ki Jai. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Please repeat. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Verse number 14. This is a very famous verse, important verse. दैवी हेषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरात्यया. Duratya, you can see that. मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायाम् एतां तरन्ति ते. दैवी एषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरात्यया. मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायाम् एतां तरन्ति ते. दैवी एषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरात्यया. माम् एव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति ते. Daivi, transcendental. He certainly. Esha, this, Gunamayi, consisting of the three modes of the material nature. Mama, my, Maya, energy, Duratyaya, very difficult to overcome. Mam, unto me. Eva, certainly. Those who prapadyante, surrender. Maya, metam, this illusory energy. Taranti, overcome. they. Translation by Prabhupada. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Repeat. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So those are the two verses. We'll try to understand these verses. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanasalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Krupa Tamaham Vande Sri Gurum Dentarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyeswaram Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhayeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं श्री रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गौर भक्त वृंद की जय थैंक यू ऑल फॉर joining this class. So very nice verses. So here, so let's understand the first of all the context, the sections, and especially today's topic is based on the three modes of material nature, especially used gunamayi. So first of all, where this energy is coming from, how it is classified or categorized from all the way from the spiritual world into this in this material world. So various categories, how it is divided, how we can see, and then we will see the characteristics of each of these modes, and we can see relate to these famous examples, which day-to-day basis we see, so that we can relate to and understand. And corporate world they also use this representation also. So then we can understand and apply, and then how to transcend these modes. So that aspect, at least briefly, the 14th chapter covers in great detail. But at least here we should understand why. First of all, why Lord Krishna suddenly speaking three modes. This chapter 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga. Why is he speaking about these? That also we have to understand. So, as Krishna has explained the connection from chapter 6 to chapter 7, we understood. As Krishna explained, Yoginam Sarvesham Madgate Antaratmana Saddhavan Bhajte Yamam Samyuktatamamada. One greatest out of all yogis, Ashtanga Yogi, Hatha Yogi, Jnana Yogi, so many types of yogis. Out of all that, the topmost is one who is always thinking of me internally and engaging in yoga, uniting with me, engaging in that consciousness, performing that yoga, bhakti yoga, then he is the topmost out of all yogas. So that's when, okay, now what is that yoga? How will I become attached to you and think of you, conscious of you, absorbed of you? So that's when seventh chapter begins without Arjuna is asking any questions. And this seventh chapter is divided into six sections. 1 to 3 is just here about Krishna. That's a touch runu. And then the second section is 4 to 12. Last week I covered material and spiritual energies. Now the third section today, just two verses, 13 and 14. You can understand the importance of it. Krishna controls the modes. Krishna controls the modes. Otherwise, the living entity, delusion or illusion. And how can one can overcome? So both aspects are there. How can we put into illusion? How one can overcome? How one can overcome that? So both. But who is the controller? Krishna is the controller. That is the title of the section 13 to 14. That is today's topic. 15 to 19 is four types of people surrender. Four types of people never surrender. Impious never surrender. Pious do. That is the fourth section. Fifth section is 20 to 25. demigod worship, and impersonalism. Then the last one is bewilderment and freedom by knowing Krishna. In this way, these sections are titled. Now, so why Lord Krishna is speaking in this verse about in this 13 to 14 about these three modes? Why is Krishna speaking? Because first verse, what is he saying? How to develop attachment. My asakta manaparda. To me, to Krishna, to me, if you want to develop attachment, my asakta manaparda, yogam injan, you must engage in devotion service. Yogam injan mada ashraya. You have to take shelter of me or my representative, mada ashraya. Asamsayam samagramma. Asamsayam samagramma. Mataji, your video is on. You can switch off or I can maybe put that. Yeah. Asamsayam samagramma. Yata gnasasi. Tachruno. So asamsayam. So then by taking shelter of me, by engaging in devotion, then you will know everything in full. That means of this external manifestation and how things are running behind the scene, both. So how you can develop my asakta, attachment. Now, so that's why how you can be attached and absorbed of me. Then Krishna explained from all the way from fourth verse to 12th verse, material and spiritual energies. So spiritual energies automatically you will develop better because that is superior. So you will as you taste taste the water is Krishna. Rasoham Apsukantaya. Bijam Mam Sarvabhutanam. I am the seed giving father. Or Balam Balavatamaham. I am the strongest. If you see the strength in someone, that is me. So in this way, Krishna started explaining all these Bhumira Pvanla Vayu, the four material energies. And then those are inferior, then superior is living entity, the soul. In this way, Krishna is explaining the which is inferior and also superior. And then Krishna is explaining how you can think of him by tasting the water, by seeing the stronger than strongest, by seeing the smell, the fragrance, Punyagandha Pudivyancha. So in various ways, Krishna is explaining 4 to 12. Now, because there are inferior aspects, there is material quality, material aspects also he mentioned. But most of them we mentioned about more in mode of goodness. Now, the two ways to look at why Krishna is speaking. One way to look at is you are always talking about mode of goodness, and what about the mode of the things which are in mode of passion, the things which are in mode of ignorance? So, what about are they coming from you or what it is? How they are coming, or how they are situated? So that is the one way to look at. So another way to look at is you are asking me to develop attachment. Lord Krishna is instructing develop attachment. If you want to develop attachment, then you have to be attached to the spiritual energy, but you have to be detached from the external energy, the material energy. If you don't become detached, if you don't understand the gradation, what is material, what is spiritual, and what causes bondage, what causes relief from that bondage, then it's very difficult to develop the deepening or attraction for the Lord Krishna. So that's why Krishna is speaking after explaining material and spiritual energies because people may tend to choose to develop attachment to this material energy, then it will not be good. Then he can't develop any attraction or attachment to him. So that's why those are the two aspects. There could be many other reasons, but he can see how important it is. Why Krishna is speaking this three modes of material nature in these two verses. So now first understand here Krishna is speaking three beer Gunamayer Bhaver. So Gunamayi. So what is this Gunamayi means? How it is coming from? So our Acharya Shastra is explaining Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these books are explaining. The first energy is there are two Mayas, Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. Yoga Maya is nothing but Lord Krishna's Swarupa Shakti, Antaranga Shakti or internal energy, which consists of Hladini, pleasure potency, Sandhini, potency, and Samvit potency. Samvit, Sandhini means knowledge, Samvit means existential potency. Sat Chit Ananda. The knowledge is Sandhini is existential potency, Samvit is knowledge potency, and Ahladini is pleasure potency. Samvit, that knowledge aspect is Lord Krishna takes care. Sandhini is Lord Balram, that's why he expands, he takes care of his expansion, the three Mahavishnus. Karna, Daik Vishnu, and Garbhodaka Vishnu, Kshirodaka. These three are called three Mahavishnus. Three Vishnus are Purusha avatars. They are so they are the expansion of Lord Balram all the way. So that's why Lord Balram is the in charge for Sandhini potency, which is the existential potency, Sat Chit Ananda. So the Chit is knowledge potency. That is Samvit. Lord Krishna takes care of. And then Haladini. Original all three are, but he has given. He has delegated. So then the Haladini potency is pleasure potency is coming from Srimati Radharani. So this Yoga Maya is of these three categories. All these three coming under Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya is internal, Antaranga Shakti, Swarup Shakti. Three ways you can same thing, but it can be termed as now the Yoga Maya, and then there is a Mahamaya. Yoga Maya is in the spiritual Swarup Shakti. Then it is transformed in the material aspect. It is called Mahamaya. What are the examples? In Vrindavan, you see Purnamasi. Purnamasi is Yoga Maya covering all the Vrindavan Vasi, the cohort boys, the Yashoda, Nanda and Yashoda, gopis, covering the actual the position of the Lord as God, so that they can be act on the platform of Sakyaras, Vatsalaras, Madhuras. So Spaurnamasi is acting as Yogamaya for the devotees and acting as Mahamaya, covering the others cannot understand. So also, and in Mayapur, in Mayapur Dham, Mayapur Dham, West Bengal, or ISKCON headquarters, Mayapur Dham, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace. There is a place called Praudamaya or uh, uh, Poramtala. So that is the place where Praudamaya appeared. So this Mahamaya appeared as Praudamaya, covering. They can only see unless the devote, unless is accepting and serving, trying to understand Krishna wants to associate with devotees, serve the Lord. Then only when they enter into Mayapur Dham, they can understand. Otherwise, proud Maya will cover that living entity. You will only see dirtiness, all unclean things. You will only see. You will quarrel with the Dhamvasis. So you will not understand the reality behind the scenes. So that is what her job is, proud Maya. She is also there in Jagannath Puri in Sri, what is it? In Rajapur, Jagannath Temple in Mayapur, Srimanta Dweep, Srimantini Devi, she is also. So in this way, she is acting as Praudamaya. Mahamaya is also called Praudamaya. So Purnamasi, Yogamaya, but same energy. Sometimes it is used interchangeably. The same Yogamaya can mean sometimes covering the for devotee. It covers only if it if it enhances the bhakti, enhances the pleasure to the devotee and the Lord. That is Yogamaya. That kind of covering means he is not God, but they play so that it otherwise on reverence will come into picture. So that's why the Yogamaya acts in that way to cover. Then the second aspect is same energy can act as a Mahamaya. I'll give you example. Mahamaya means completely the living entity is covered. Now let's come to that understanding. Mahamaya is divided into two categories again. Jivamaya and Gunamaya. Jivamaya and Gunamaya. Jivamaya is living entity. Jiva. We are all called Jiva. And it also again subcategorized into two. Why we are here conditioned by three modes of material nature. The Jiva Maya is divided again to two are Prakshepa, Avaranatmika Shakti, Avaranatmika Maya, Prakshepatmika Maya. Avaranatmika Maya, Prakshepatmika Maya. See, the first one is Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. From Yoga Maya, we mentioned that three energies, Swarup Shakti or Yoga Maya, consists of three, Sandhini, Sambit, Ladini. Then the Mahamaya is divided into two, Gunamaya and Jivamaya. So Jivamaya is divided into Avaranatmika Shakti and Avaranatmika Maya and Prakshepatmika Maya. Then this Gunamaya is divided into three Gunamaya. Three beer Gunamaya. That three modes. That Gunamaya transformed to three. So the first Jiva Maya, if you look at why Jiva is conditioned, why living end is conditioned in this world, so because the Avaranatmika Shakti, Avaranatmika Maya is working. What is Avaranatmika Maya means? It is covering the living entity, is real knowledge. It is covering the real knowledge. So basically putting into ignorance. So he cannot understand what is reality, what is dharma, what is adharma. He cannot understand what is spiritual, what is material. He cannot understand what is spirit, what is matter. He cannot distinguish. He is fully covered. His knowledge, real knowledge is covered. His real position, real constitutional position is covered. Like I gave example in yesterday's class on the three modes of material nature. Prabhupada gives ice. Original is liquidity, water, but it is covered. When it became ice, it is Maya because it is not in natural position. So when the sun is very hot, then the ice will melt, comes into original position back, water liquidity position. Same way, the living entity is covered. The real knowledge is being covered by avaranatmika Shakti. It is being covered. Then what will this Mahamaya do in the form of Jiva Maya, in the form of these subcategories? Prakshevatmika. Once the knowledge is covered, his intelligence is covered, then Prakshepatmika Shakti will give allurements, give nice attractions. This is nice, eat this, or go here, this is nice, enjoy that. Various things for the eyes, for the ears, for the smell, for the taste, for the everything, all the karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, you name it, all the enjoyment. The consciousness is completely covered. Your intelligence is covered. Your mind senses are covered, is forced to act because Avaranatmika Shakti first covers, then you don't know what is reality, so what is not, what will help you to go up to the spiritual path, what will not help you. So, and then on top of it, Prakshepatmika Shakti gives nice allurement so that you will be keep on doing those same seemingly enjoyment, seemingly giving happiness. So on this platform it goes. So that you can see from all the way from Yogamaya, Mahamaya, from Mahamaya to Jiva Maya, Gunamaya, from Jiva Maya to Avaranatmika Shakti Maya and Prakshepatmika Maya, and then Gunamaya to three gunas. Rajas, Tamas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, SRT. Goodness, passion, ignorance. But Lord, everything is coming from the Lord. So the question may ask, so what about all other modes? Yes, Krishna is, that's why Krishna is speaking. Now, whatever I explained, most of them are goodness, but not only goodness, ignorance, passion, everything is coming from me. Tribir Gunamayer Bhavir, Yebir Idam, Sarvam Idam Jagat, Mohitam, Na Abhijanati. But I am not deluded, I am not under the control of those modes. I am independent, but it is coming from me. How is that? Just like superintendent or the police, he may enter into jail, but he is not one of the prisoners. He is not being controlled by the prison or the laws within that prison house. That you can say same way, or you can say powerhouse. It is electricity, but that can be used to generate cold or heat. Transformed from the powerhouse, electricity is transformed to two different, heating and cooling, but originally one. Same way, the Lord's energy, one, when the living entities want to separately enjoy from the Lord, that's when the Mahavishnu glanced on the यस्य प्रभा प्रभवतो जगदंत कोटि कोटिश अशेष वसुदादि विभूति विन्नम तद निष्कलम अनंतम अशेष भूतम गोविंदम आदि पुरुषम तम भजा. So his glance, then his Brahm is breathing, all these universes are coming out, and the living entity is entering into different universes, smallest universe, big universe, and within that 14 planetary systems are there. Within that subcontinents and so many countries and places, and within that there are different families, pious, impious, and then what balance here, what pious grade here, how much, what modes is operating. Not only in human beings. Don't think that these three modes of material nature is only in human beings. No. In each and every species, it is three modes. Is how strong. That's why the second verse. Then Arjuna is asking, You are telling this Rasoham Sukaunteya, you are telling this fragrance, everything. You can remember me, attached to me. But then how is it that not, then he mentions also Manushyanam Sahasre Kachise. It's very deep. Not everybody can come. But how is it that these are easy things? Taste of water, everybody knows. But how is that not everybody can understand you or come to you? That's when the Krishna is speaking these two verses. That is the third way to look at. How is that Krishna? Everybody is not coming to Krishna, not able to understand these energies. It is coming from Krishna because they are deluded. They are covered by this Avaranatmika Shakti and Prakshepatmika Shakti and these three modes, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Three modes, they are being covered. So their intelligence is covered, their knowledge is covered, their original Swarupa constitutional position is covered like ice. They became ice, like a hard rock. Heart is filled with so many anarthas and hard. So he can't understand what is right, what is not. They can't distinguish. So, that is the difference. That is the difference. So that's why Krishna is speaking this three veer Gunamayir Bhava. And but he is not deluded, he is not affected. Lord Krishna is not affected like a powerhouse. He is not affected by these things. But living entity is being affected because he is being covered. Because so for him, for Lord, there is nothing which can impede. He never become. There is no sinful which can touch him. He can never be under the cover under the these three modes. Is always beyond Visuddha Sattva. So that's why you see so many examples. Tejiya Samna Doshaya, like sun never gets sun is giving its heat and light and everything even to the filthy place, but sun never gets contaminated. Same way, so many examples in Shastra being given. Suddham apapa viddam in Isopanishad. She never gets contaminated, even though seemingly he may tell lie. Like he asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, go and tell lie to Dronacharya Asraddhama Hataha. But still, he is not conditioned, he is not incurred by any sinful activities. So, uh, he can adjust anything. Viruddha Dharma Samanja in Amnaya Sutra, that is also mentioned. He can adjust Dharma and Adharma. Seemingly externally it may look like Adharma, but for Lord it doesn't become conditioned. He can adjust. Tadiya Sangha Doshaya. He can adjust everything. So that's why it is so Supreme Lord can adjust in that way. So now let's understand with more examples. Here three modes of material nature. How we can understand day-to-day basis what we see. Three modes of material nature is considered represented by three colors. Yellow is goodness, and then red is passion. Passion is for red color, and then ignorance is blue. RGB. So red, green, blue in colors. The colors are also coming from. So the white is so strong. Duratteya. It is mentioned. Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratteya. This energy, this Mahamaya is very difficult to overcome. Insurmountable. Duratteya. Very, very difficult. Because it is like a rope. One who is bound with ropes. Not only one rope, but three ropes. Guna is also mean rope. So three ropes are together, knotted. So it becomes very hard. So 3 into 3 combinations, three modes, 3 into 3 permutation. If you studied math, 3 into 3, 9. 9 again, there are 9 category of living entities, starting from aquatics all the way to human. There are 9 types of living entities, from aquatics to insects to birds and bees, the creepers. So various categories are there. The snakes, the reptiles category, and then human beings. So 9 type categories. The 9 is multiplied into 81. So this when I say 9 categories, Jalaja, Navalaksan, Stavaran, Lakshman, Padmapuran gives. These 9 categories, each category has certain number. Like human beings are 400,000 types of human beings are there. Types. It's not a exact number of human beings count. It is a type. There are 400,000 types of human beings, whether it's a demigod, Gandharvas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, like that. So all these various types of human. Like that, each category of living entities have certain number. So that's why that some number 900,000 or so, and then multiplied by these many combinations, there are 8.4 million species. This is the exact count. These many types of living entities are there. In each and every type, there are three modes. Just like Shastra gives example. The four in animals, let's look at the cow, which is the intelligent class. Cow will be acting as intelligent, it is a mode of goodness, it will get its human birth in the next life. Cow, natural evolution. It's a natural evolution from cow, it is going. The second category is that is mode of goodness, passion. Passion mixed with ignorance. This is a category of lion. Lion is in the administrative class, he is king. So he will go back. Lion will also get into human body in the next life. It has come from all the way from aquatic. It has to come one life or one level to another level. There are so many grades in each and every category. It has to go through one life after another life. If he does something else, but most of them will go directly, naturally, one life after another life. It doesn't have like a human being where if he does sinful act, he may get a lower birth. He may not get human birth. But for them, it's just they will just go higher up to the next level, and they'll get human birth after many lifetime, many species of life. The lion is getting the human birth in the next. This is in the passion and ignorance combined in administrative class. Now the next category is elephants. Elephant is also gets in the next is also mode of ignorance, and so that category also in the ignorance, and it's also in the business class. Elephant is used for various carrying different business. So that that also gets a human body. Then the fourth category is monkey. Ignorance, too much delusion, so much, and also some passion is also there. So the monkey is also gets its human body in the next life. So naturally, this is a gradual evolution. So even like if you look at any tree which gives fruits and roots and flowers and everything, that is a mode of goodness. Which gives only the fruits or the flower, just one category passion, which doesn't give anything, no use whatsoever. Some of the plants are like just standing for thousands of years, no use whatsoever. Then that is a mode of ignorance. So like that, in each and every category of life or species of life, they are in the this. Now the look at the traffic lights. These three modes are compared like a traffic light. Traffic light you have red, green, yellow. So you can replace green with yellow. So same way, just like the yellow is mode of goodness, red is passion, blue is ignorance. Same way. So one which can go like a goodness, one which is in the middle, like a yellow is in the middle. You can go or you can stop. So that, and then the red is completely stopped. So the mode of goodness, ignorance, passion. These three are compared to traffic light. Now who is controlling? Is traffic lights automatically working by its own? No, it is working under machine. Somebody else, and then there is a controller to operate with the machine to be on, switched on or off. The traffic light. Sometimes in the night you will see sometimes traffic light is off, or it's not. They just put it off. No need for certain places. So somebody is there. Same way, this material energy, these three modes are working under somebody. That is Maya Dakshana Prakriti Suvitaya Sacharacharam. It is not that out of blue nobody is there. No, material people may claim there is no God. No, but everything is working under someone supreme. That is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has delegated his various categories, different departments to different people. So that's how it is working. Three Veer Gunamaya Bhaver. So that's how you can understand these traffic lights. So when the police, he can go, whether it's red, green, yellow, doesn't matter. He can go. For him, there is no sinful activity. If we do that, we'll get a ticket. Obviously, you can cheat them. You may not get ticket. Many places nowadays, because they have been sued, they have removed even the lights. In some places, still it is there. They take a picture and send it. They used to do much more. Now they have removed in many places because of some issues. So that's how they, but still people can cheat, violate. But in the spiritual, in the laws of the Supreme Lord, nobody can violate. Nobody can go. You cannot hide. You cannot cheat. Everything is recorded. So you will be punished. So that will be the severity of the situation when we don't follow. So now we can understand this three veer gunamayer bhaver evirism sarvam idam jagat. Now we have to understand how to transcend these three modes. As Krishna is on Daivi Esha Gunamai, one who surrenders. Daivi Esha Gunamai, Mama Maya Duratte, Mam Eva Prapadyante. Prapadyante means surrender. One who surrenders to Supreme Lord and his representative, just like son. Is there a problem for a son or a daughter to surrender to his father or guardian? No problem. There shouldn't be any problem. But right now, he is the supreme father. He is the one who is given seed. He is the one who has given. Without him, without if super soul is gone from this body, it cannot. Living entity cannot exist in in the body. The body which is given because super soul is there. That's why we are giving intelligence. Everything is working nicely. Soul and super soul. Minute soul passes, super soul is also gone. So then that's when the living end is called dead. So the body is dead. The soul passes into another body. The subtle body carries, gross body is done. Subtle body is taken to enter into another body. The soul and super soul goes into another body. Super soul is always guiding. That is only in the material world. In spiritual world, there is no super soul. In the material world, everywhere, all the demigods, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, all um, uh, 9.93 million demigods. Uh, all demigods have super soul in this material world. Every one of them being uh, given. Super soul is the one giving intelligence, giving granting the desires. What somebody approaching the demigods, everything is under the karmana daiva netrena janto deho bhavate. Under the divine supervision only things are happening. So it is not under our jurisdiction. So in this way we have to understand. Now let's understand the characteristics also. So that means one must we have to consider supreme father. To our father mother we surrender. Same way naturally we should, but right now the culture became completely off. So that's why we are not able to understand who is the supreme father, who is our real father. This life, some mother, father is this life, wife, husband, some kids are there. Previously, who was there? We are trying to help. And why to worship God? Why to follow this process? I will be good. I will do good work. I will give poor kids some education or some food and all. Why should I do all these things? There is no need. Because some people are fed up with people wearing saffron or people on the name of God cheating. So people are fed up with that. All some people are in that way. They have been rejected this process. Some people why to do all this? I will do good and then I don't need to worship. But that is still in the mode of goodness on the bodily platform. That means he has to take so many births in this. Go on taking births only. There is there is no moksha. There is no liberation. He cannot go beyond. He is always in the three modes. Tapatraya, three miseries. Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika. Three sufferings. Tapatraya, he cannot come out of that. Sometimes happiness, sometimes whether he wanted or whether he doesn't want, still it will come. So that's why one must understand and surrender to the Supreme Lord. So that's why Prabhupada gives one time reporter asked, why do you have all young people only in your mission, in your group? So the Prabhupada immediately told, then yes, when one lady asked the reporter, then he said, why do you have young people in college, in your college? Yeah, because educate, that is the time to get education. Then same way, yes, this is the time to get Krishna consciousness at the early age only. You cannot do at the end. Then somebody else, another reporter asked, this time is a male person. He asked then same question. So why do you have this young people? Why are you asking them? They are young. Why are you asking them to engage in this Krishna conscious activities? Then he said, so what do you mean by young and old? Can you say that you will die before me? Can you say that you will link? Who is old? Who is young? How will you define it? Do you know? On what basis you can tell? So you don't know tomorrow what's going to happen when you are going to give up this body. Then how can you say that I will practice when I am 60 years old, 50 years old, or 70 years old? I will enjoy nicely. Do you know your span of your life? You don't know. Then that's it. He couldn't answer anything. So until that he was acting on the bodily platform. Then he realized. So what is reality? Reality is nothing is in his control. Reality is everything is under karmana daiva netrena. Nothing is in our control. Think we are thinking we are the controller, but in reality we are not the controllers. But how we utilize, even though we are not the control, we are not the, we don't have a full independence, but we have been given a free will, certain free will. How you utilize that free will? If somebody has given $100, then if you use for good things, you could use for bad things also. So then, how you use that free will? How you use your pious credits, good credits? It depends. Accordingly, your future changes. Accordingly, your future changes. Your either transforms or suffering, instead of transcending or transforming into a spiritual platform and going back to our original place. Rather, we'll take up even not even get human birth but lower species of life because of our activities, ignoring the laws of the Supreme Lord, ignoring. Just like here, also so many people ignore. They don't care. They'll go on speeding. They'll get speeding tickets. Still, they will go on. They enter into prison by cheating or doing some illegal activities, murdering or doing all kinds of thieves and rope. They will put into jail, but again they come out. They will do. So this again after many times, then they get reformed. They get some real knowledge. Then they when they get enlightened, then they will understand, and then they will stop. So that's why in living entities there are nitya siddhas, there are nitya baddhas. Nitya siddhas are never becomes conditioned. Otherwise, the living entities are called marginal energy. That means tatastha Shakti. We call Antaranga Yoga Maya is Antaranga Shakti. That is internal energy of the Lord. So that's why there is Vishnu Tattvas, his own Lord Vishnu's expansions. And then they have Jiva Tattva. Jiva means living entities. In that living entities also there are Nitya Siddhas, eternally liberated, like spiritual master, Prabhupada or curious acharyas. They are eternally liberated, but they have been sent to propagate this mission. They are never becomes, but Lord has to send. Lord is sending them to reform the living entities. But there are Nitya Baddhas. They are constantly being conditioned. So constantly being conditioned life after life. Then because of Avaranatmika Shakti and Prakshepatmika Shakti and these three modes of material nature, so both Gunamaya and Jivamaya, both are being capturing the living entity in a cell, in a present cell. So is not able to come out, is being trapped. So so that's why it's very we must be very careful to follow at home, because based on how we act, even our kids will act. Sometimes kids are very, you know, so very naughty, so are too much create disturbance, because it is in what environment you bring up, in what environment we ourselves act. They see, you don't need to teach them. They see what we act, then automatically they also, if you keep on fighting without, because between the family members there will be some, but somebody has to give, give away, give away that tolerate. If there is no tolerate, then there is no point of togetherness. Somebody has to tolerate. One person has to ignore. It is to cooperate, work together to serve Krishna. That is the idea in any ashram, whatever ashram it is. Especially two souls coming together is more difficult, because day after day you have to live. As a brahmachari means individual. Sometimes he's with friends or sometimes with family members, but he's independent. He doesn't need to be there whole day or every day basis. But grihastha means he has to be together. That means he has to give way. He has to be patient and tolerant. Otherwise, it is very difficult. That fighting spirit, the mentality is there always. Independent nature, trying to be independent. So that's why we are here in this material. So that's why one must develop this mode of goodness at least, then engaging in devotion service further. So that's why here Arjuna also same thing. He was trying to fight. He wanted to fight. He came to the battlefield, but he thought result will be bad. He is already thinking. He was passionate about his result. He is not in a situated mode of goodness, and he is ignorant of his position. He is supposed to act for Krishna. He is supposed to act for Dharma, but he is thinking, why should I fight? So there will be bloodshed. There will be, oh, this is my own people. All this Krishna Arjuna has given. So that's why. Then this way Krishna is giving. If you want to develop attachment and want to follow what I am saying, then you must surrender. You give away your own ideas and thoughts. What I say, what is dharma, what my instruction is, we have to follow. That is the dharma. That is the going beyond even mode of goodness, because mode of goodness also brings happiness, attachment with happiness. And let's look at some of the example, some of the characteristics, so that we understand this passion, goodness, ignorance. What will be the characteristics? Let's look at it. Um, it's mentioned, yeah. Where is that? Three modes. Three modes: goodness, passion, ignorance, red, yellow, blue. So the effects of sattva gun, means mode of goodness, is atmosphere of peace, serenity, harmony. That will be the environment. Rajogun means insatiable desires for temporary things, striving for more and more. There is no satisfaction whatsoever, perpetual dissatisfaction. And the tamogun means ignorance, means completely laziness, depression, procrastination, intoxication, and insanity. This will be the mode of goodness controls virtues, qualities as joy, wisdom, altruism. Mode of passion controls greed, anger, lust, ambition, frustration. So mode of ignorance controls laziness, delusion, and apathy. Goodness clarifies and pacifies. That's why. Yeah, that's why we are constantly telling Shastras, keep on telling, be situated in mode of goodness. That means that's why try to utilize the time from 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning till 7 or 8, at least till 6, 2 hours, at least 1 hour. Try to practice at least half an hour, 5:30 to 6, if not 5 to 6, if not 4 to 6. You practice that time to be more and more transformative, more and more Krishna conscious, chanting, reading, hearing. So that is the Yuga Dharma for the age, more than meditation. So then that will help the rest of the day. If you are not situated, you don't utilize the time for Krishna conscious activities, then it becomes, we can't. We are being forced to be act in a passion and ignorant, because we are not utilizing the time. So that's why then you will not be able to actually take right decisions in life. So because the passion and ignorance prevails in our life. So goodness clarifies and pacifies the living entity. Passion confuses and impel to act sinfully. They have to, just today, if somebody asks, comes, police first time, sometimes many times. If somebody get caught first time, they will tell most of them, they'll, okay, all right, first time offense, okay, we'll leave you, we'll not give a ticket, first time warning. Same way, Supreme Father, Supreme Lord, spiritual master, one time, two time, three time. But if we keep on doing, because I'm chanting or because of anger, keep on doing the same mistake over and over again and again and again, you cannot give, you cannot forgive, because the laws will act. Because we have to be very sincere and obedient. Sincere and obedient. That's why Prabhupada said, okay, disciples are, how will you become 100% Krishna conscious? They said, okay, 70% you can go back to Godhead, provided we are obedient and sincere and serious to what Sri Prabhupada is giving instruction. If you are not obedient, just like you go to a class to a teacher, you are not obedient to the master and teacher. Will he give knowledge? Will he give, if you have a problem or failure or you failed a test or anything in your education, whether it's maths or English or science, he can teach you. First of all, you are not even obedient. How is he going to teach you? So even if you are in difficulty, he cannot teach you, because you are not paying attention. Neither you are obedient nor sincere. How can he help you? By seeing that attitude itself, he cannot help you. So that's the first. We have to be obedient and sincere and serious. Then, by somehow or the other, because of previous anarthas, if we are not able to, then if you keep failing, then the Prabhupada, Guru representatives can keep helping, because they are seeing your obedient and serious and sincerity. Based on that, Lord will help. Lord will, as per Srimad Radharani, the spiritual master or representative Srimad Radharani, they are very compassionate, very merciful. So Prabhupada, you can see, he didn't give any rules. In the beginning, 66, 67, when he opened, no rules. He didn't give any rules because they don't know. They are Western world. They don't know anything. He didn't give any rules. He gave initiation. After initiation, then he started telling the rules, what to be followed. So you can understand because based on the time, place, circumstance, Prabhupada had to do that. But now it is not so much. At least awareness is there. In this way, that's why passion confuses and impels. So that's why we shouldn't be situated in passion because it will constantly confuse. We can't make right decisions. And if we cannot make, if we are in that platform, then our kids also will be on that platform. So we have to understand that. So that's why what platform we create, environment we create at home, that will lead on to even the kids will take it on. You don't need to instruct. Automatically, naturally, they will take it on. That kind of environment. So that's why we have to be very careful. Not only us, because sometimes husband and wife will think about themselves, but what result it will make into in the lives of kids, that we are not foreseeing the future. So that's why we have to be very careful that aspect. Then it will help them because we have to look at the future become futuristic. Ignorance obscures and impels. Ignorance completely obscures and impedes the living entity to go on committing sinful activities. So they don't care about anything. What happens, what results, what will happen. So the goodness predominates. One will aspire for generally achieving long-term happiness. So this is also important thing. If you are trying to look for short-term happiness, then it's not good thing. Goodness means long-term happiness. Sometimes they may have to, like Prabhupada had to go through so many difficulties, so many. So many difficulties. Even the Pandavas had to go through so many difficulties. But they are looking at not short-term. Oh, why did Lord do that? I was chanting for many years. Why did Lord give me this problem, that problem? But they are not, they just continued on. They know that material world means we have to go through it. So they are in the long term happiness, they are looking in long term. Okay, I will continue to stay the course. They are not impelled. So it is clearly they have full clarification in their mind and intelligence. What is the right path, what to do, what not to do. And they are being guided by Daumya and Vyasdev, and all the guidance is given because they were the very obedient and sincere, serious. So that's why Bhishma Pitama, Dronacharya, Vidura, so many. Lord, this is Lord's arrangement. Lord has sent all the help they need. But still they have been put into that container so that they will be glorified for the rest of the world, rest of the time. Pandavas, all the great devotees, whether it's Haridas, Thakur, so Prabhupada, all the great, Jesus Christ, they because so that then people can learn the lessons, how to practice. Compared to them, what we are going through is nothing. We haven't seen the difficulties. So when the difficulty comes, then we know what mode we are operating. How we conduct ourselves at the time of difficulty, then we will know because the whether what mode we are operating. So Prabhupada's life, we can see one time he met an accident. Even on the flight, one time flight was in turbulence. Anytime it come, but he was very calm, serene, nothing. He didn't say anything. All his disciples were so much in anxiety, but he was very peaceful. So he was completely aloof from everything. So he's not because he's not operating of these modes, lower modes. Even when he met even Mauritius, he was traveling in a car with all disciples, three, four disciples. Suddenly, when they made a turn, then it met with another car, direct head-on collision. So driver was full of blood, and the disciples, Prabhupada got hurt, but Prabhupada could realize before itself. Till that time, he put a cane on the side and he was relaxed. But just before a minute or so, seconds before that, he was straight with a cane in the middle. He was carrying that, so he could understand immediately that accident happened. He could sense, he could foresee that things are happening. But he was very quiet. He didn't say after the accident also. Brahma Prabhu took Prabhupada. Then they had to catch another somebody's car and then they went to room. Prabhupada didn't open his mouth. He was the one, Brahma Prabhu was the one asking how to get to the his house. They don't even know where they were staying, how to go, nothing because they were in a new place. But Prabhupada didn't utter a single word. Whatever Brahman Prabhu was doing, he didn't say a single thing. Then he was trying to take Prabhupada to hospital. Then somebody took them, and then they were saying, no, no, we don't know where the hospital is. So then he said, Praman, okay, drop us here. Then they dropped. Then Prabhupada, he was trying to catch somebody else and going to hospital. Then Prabhupada said, then that time Prabhupada said, no, we'll directly go to home. Then the second Indian people this time. So then they took Prabhupada and Brahman Prabhu home. So, but Prabhupada was always serene, calm. He didn't say anything. Why it happened? Why did it happen to us? Prabhupada didn't question God. So, nothing. So, it tells what mode somebody is operating when things happen. So, I have seen in myself in my spiritual master is Olna Jayapataka Swami's case. Hundreds of examples, so many difficult. Whole life is full of health problems and whatnot. Almost every few years, from 1980s itself, but unwavered, uninterrupted, completely unconditional. Whatever he is ready to do anything and everything for Srila Prabhupada. That's how we can see, understand the reality, what mode he is operating on. If he is ordinary person, he cannot even survive based on he can't survive the lung transplant, liver transplant, going through so many. So the complete half of its body is paralyzed. He can't work. So that's why we have to look at these examples of the devotees. So Prabhupada and his representatives look at the example how they are carrying on, what mode they are operating, how compassionate they are trying to teach the world. They are staying the course. They could have gone, he could have gone back. But he's staying the course, as Prahlad Maharaj mentioned. I don't want to go back. Narsinghdev is ready to give him. Can I give you liberation? He said, no. I want to serve my spiritual master. My spiritual master has given me so much mercy. While being in the home, I have been taught this Srimad Bhagavatam, the whole spiritual understanding. Then how can I leave my spiritual master? How can I not do something what my spiritual master, at least something I should do? He has given me so much. So that's why we have to understand this subject. So goodness predominates. One will aspire for long-term happiness. Even one must accept temporary inconveniences. The person overtaken by passion is usually satisfied with short-term happiness, doesn't expect much more out of life. And the person dominated by ignorance rarely achieves happiness at all. But still he thinks he is happy. While drinking or while sleeping, he thinks he is happy. And so, but he's completely covered up. So that's why we have to understand these three modes, how stringent. So how we are being overpowered. So by these, that's why in corporate world also this is being discussed as red, green, yellow. All other colors are coming from these three colors. They mix different colors and then different other colors are coming, orange and whatnot. All other colors, violet, various colors. They are mixing mainly, primarily these RGB, red, green, yellow. These are the three colors, and the rest of all other colors. So that's the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. So that's why Shastra here the instruction is Mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantade. One must surrender to the process, what Lord Krishna is giving through his representatives and follow the instructions. So Mad Ashraya Katam Rasa Srunvanti Katayanti Jatapanti Vividas Tapa Naitan Mat Gata Chetasa. Engaged constantly in chanting and hearing about me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sadhus do not suffer from the material miseries because they are always filled with thoughts of my pastimes and activities. So that's why Krishna is mentioning. So Maya Sakta Partha. So one must be engaged in this chanting and hearing. Try to utilize at least in the morning so that rest of the day at least it will help some impressions, some force. It will act as a force to stay the course, even though it may be difficult to go through the time, the rest of the day, even though it may be difficult time in the office or whatever business, whatever we are doing, but we'll be able to sustain that difficulty. Will be peaceful, calm, and get through that course of the day and continue through the next day without being affected. So that is the beauty of this process by engaging in this gnanena vairagya vijrumbitena. Gnanena, that's why we have to receive this knowledge. We have to hear. Without knowledge, We may jump, trying to jump, run. I want to directly. Um, Even there's an example of Ravindra Swarup Prabhu in the beginning. So Ravindra Swarup Prabhu is a disciple of Sri Prabhupada. So he said he joined. Then at some point he said Prabhupada is in Vyasasana, he is giving lectures. Then he said, I cannot, I cannot reach God. I cannot reach God through anybody. I can only directly go to God. I can't reach through anybody. There shouldn't be anybody in the middle. He was crying and was loudly speaking, and then immediately, then Prabhupada said, "Okay, we brought him and come here, come here." Then he put him on his lap and patted him and said, so I just want you to be happy, my boy. So then Prabhupada said like that. Then immediately he left and he banged the door and he left the door, left that room. So everybody was shocked and crying and tears. But later on he came back. So Prabhu is still there in New Jersey only. He's there in outskirts of New York. Later on he became a temple president of Philadelphia for many years as initiated disciples, a great devotee, has written books. So is very staunch follower of Sri Prabhupada. But you can see that tendencies will be there to run, jump, but you can't run and jump. First you have to hear, you have to chant, you have to understand this jnana, transcendental knowledge. Then that will lead automatically. Jnanena vairagya vijrumbhutena. Naturally, at the speed you take here and then follow that, apply that instruction to that degree, to that level, the vairagya, the detachment from all worldly things, internal detachment, not external things. That means you don't need to give up your family or your work. No, nothing you don't need to give up. Originally, Brahmananda Prabhu, when he joined, he was a teacher. He got trained, and he was ready to work. But he came and met Prabhupada, and he said, "I will. I want to join you. I want to give up. I want to give up my job, and I will join." Prabhupada said, "No, you're already working." What did Krishna said to Arjuna? You work, you have to fight. You can't give up fighting because it's too dangerous. What's going to happen? Or it may be bloodshed, or so many people may be killed, my own relatives. No. What Krishna instructs that you have to do. You have to work. You can't give up the work. So because of fear or because something else. No. That is not dharma. So what is our constitution? What is our quality, intrinsic quality? What characteristic we have? So accordingly we have to work. So that's why we have to hear with rapt attention, practice it, what we are hearing gradually. Then naturally, internally, the detachment will happen. Will be completely peaceful and detached from everything. Whatever may happen, things may happen at workplace, in society, or in the community, or in our family. So, but we'll be quiet and peaceful, take it very calmly, and move on. Then only the guarantee is given. Lord Brahma is himself is speaking. When he was bewildered himself, he is showing by his own example. Tattenukampam susamikshmano punjana evatma krutam vipagam hridvag vapuvir vidadan namaste. Jiva pade mukti pade sadayava. So only way you can tatta anukampam means difficulties will go through, will come. But one who is tolerating it and without being affected, continuing to execute day after day, for him liberation is guaranteed. For him attaining Krishna is guaranteed. That is what all the Shastra is telling. Yasya deve parabhaktir yatha deve tata guru tasyaiva hi katita prakasante mahatma. One who is full faith, full surrender, fully serious and obedient to a spiritual master, for him everything will be revealed. Even though he might not be educated at all, but still he will be, everything will be revealed. It is that's why it is depending on our obedience to the following the instructions. First, we have to know what those instructions are. That means we have to hear regularly. If you don't hear, then what do you know? How to lead your life? How do you know? What is correct way? What is not correct? How do you know? What job I should choose? What job I shouldn't choose? Where to invest? Where not to invest? How do you know? Yes, you might have some education, whatever, nice PhD also. That doesn't mean anything. So material education doesn't give the right thought process. Creative thinking will come when you have the right intelligence from the sadhu, shastra, and guru. That is what will keep us transformation in the heart. transform our heart. Otherwise, it won't transform our heart. It will just increase our desires. Intense desires will go on in the heart, but it will not lead. It will not lead to the actual, real transformation, real happiness. Will not get. So that's why. That's why Lord Krishna is speaking in these two verses. How three modes of material nature is working so heavily, it is insurmountable unless one who is very obedient and surrendered. That is the important point in this in these two verses today's section. One must surrender. Otherwise, there is no way to get out of this from these three modes of material nature. So, any questions? Let me unmute. Hold on. Any questions so far based on what we discussed quickly? 8 to 11 already. I unmuted. You can ask any questions, clarifications, anything you have. Feel free. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, Ravi Prabhu. Go ahead.
Prabhuji, very nice description that you have provided with examples. Just a question. For example, so we understand that as you said that you gave with examples that we have to surrender to God, and the best time to do is specifically in the morning timing,
Yes.
right? By chanting and by reading books.
Yes.
But the person who is not into this and he's right now in rajas or tamas and he has to go to sattva, the three modes of that you have explained.
Yes.
So how do we how does he go, right? Or how do you go about from tamas to rajas and rajas to sattva?
Yeah, that Tamas to yeah, Tamas to Sattva,
Rajas
Rajas,
and
Raja,
rajas
and
to
Rajas to
sattva.
Sattva is Lord Krishna is giving the details. You can see, means even though they might not be coming to temple, they might not be chanting, then he has to work for Krishna. That means all these 12 months they have certain things like each month they have certain festival. Important is just now the Pitru Paksha is going on. So they may not believe in so many things, are chanting and all this. Okay, at least give something. You can offer whatever they can, the different grains or rice or atta, all these various things for the pleasure of serving devotees or serving the Lord or something. They at least they know, at least their parents or somebody they might have heard that at least I should do something. We should educate them or we should give them prasadam. They might not be knowing the value, but they are getting sukruti. They should worship Tulsi Marani, which is there in India. They may not chant, they may not do anything, but they all pour water into Tulsi Marani. They worship Tulsi Marani, they do some puja. Not necessarily they know the position of Tulsi Marani, what they are getting, they don't know. Ajnata Sukruti. But that worshipping Tulsi Marani, they are getting Bhakti Unmukha Sukruti. Gradually, they will come to the next level, but it may take some time because you need to whatever we do, if we know, understand what exactly the result, why we need to do, then there will be more, result will be much more beneficial. But even if we don't know, still we do, then there will be result without knowledge also, but just doing it either somebody told or because of coming in the family line. So then still, so in this way, you can do, or at least something they have to do, charity, some kind of austerity, helping others. So in some mode of goodness activities, the food, trying to eat sattvic food, all this as much as possible. But but if you look at Prabhupada's example, when he came, it is based on, but the best thing is out of all this is one must give love. One must, the way you can transform anybody, whether mode of ignorance, passion, or even lower than that, is to give love. More you love, either a friend or a wife or husband or anybody, if you give love, by that only you can transform. Not so much. That's a Prabhupada said when he went to, not Mauritius, when he went to some Maldives, some island he went. There, all the 40 or 50 cabinet ministers came. VIP reception was given. Then Prabhupada gave, he told, if you want to rule the kingdom, rule the government, it is not based on so much about the, if you want people to follow your rules and laws, order, then it is based on love. That's what Bhagavad Gita is teaching. Krishna is again and again, because you are my dear devotee, out of love he is giving, then you can follow. Because if you do anything with love, even though he may not believe in Krishna consciousness, he may not believe in chanting, but somebody is a friend for months and years, is always loving and caring, then the other person will listen at some point of time what you are doing, how you are helping, then he will take it up. But if so that is the best way. So Prabhupada was able to transform all these Western people, not so much with the rules, not so much with all other things. It is because of his love. So much, he never asked anything to be done. He was cooking, he was cleaning, everything he was doing. Then they were all surprised. How can an old person do all this? So much love, so much compassion he showed throughout his life. Prabhupada showed in that way. So that's why the devotees, the disciples, have so much love for him, back reciprocating with him. Whatever Prabhupada used to say, they used to go. They have no idea how to go to those different countries and preach, and they don't know. No, they have no idea how to open and what to do, how to expand. Nothing. Based on simply what Sri Prabhupada said, they are fully surrendered because so much love Prabhupada has given to them. So that's why love always helps. This is especially not material love, here unconditional. The Prabhupada was not having a because he's loving, because he will get, they will give him some money. No, it is not based on that some motive. No, this is unconditional, just to help that person. And Prabhupada used to pray for them, and we should also pray. Prabhupada used to pray for some of them, as per Giriraj Maharaj. Prabhupada, as soon as the Giriraj Maharaj walked in, this seems to be a nice boy, so he was praying to the lordships, Rukmini Dwarkadish, or I forget, or the Juhu temple deities, I forget which temple. Then Prabhupada prayed for them to the deities, make this boy Krishna conscious, make him fully Krishna conscious. Then pure devotee praying, then automatically he became. So he became a great devotee. He became, Giriraj Maharaj is a great spiritual master, disciple of Sri Prabhupada. So in this way, how by praying, by showing our love, and by giving them prasadam, by giving them tulsi plant also we can donate, we can give, and explain what to do. That's a simple process. They don't need to do anything else. Offer water, just a little bit. And then if they can do arti, that's fine. If not, it's okay. At least bow down. Whatever they can do, at least offer water, do some pradakshina if they can. So all these benefits are ask them to, okay, I'm going every Saturday. Can you give some fruits? And so okay, you take it for the Lord on their name. They don't need to come to temple. They don't need to do anything. Just take the fruits and offer. So after days and months of getting that sukruti, then they will come to the process. So they will understand. They will be situated in mode of goodness. But it takes time. Mm. So directly or indirectly, in any of these ways, it will help them. So that's why Krishna is mentioning in 12th chapter. If you are not in spontaneous, if you are not in Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, rules and regulation, you have to directly work for me. If you cannot directly work for me, you do indirectly. That means you can give some fruits, you can give some money, or you can do something indirectly. Sitting at home, you are not coming to temple, not following any process whatsoever. You might be eating meat, you might be drinking, you might be going all everywhere, whatever you want, but still you are doing something. Then Prabhupada, what was the case in the beginning? The disciples, the Beatles, George Harrison. What was the case? So they were all into all so many things, but because of the help, because of the compassion which Prabhupada showed, he became great. Out of all of them, George Harrison became a great devotee. Allen Ginsberg also same way. He was attached to so many things. He didn't take initiative, but still, I'm sure he got at least he engaged in the service of the Lord. Whether he got liberated in this life or not, that I cannot tell. But anything the devotees did, even though he might not be following all rules, but based on how much they helped Prabhupada, and especially in expanding Krishna consciousness, then I'm sure the Lord helps out of way, going out of the way, without looking at what bad activity they might have done, because of his helping his representative devotee. It gets tremendous benefits. So that's why helping any real spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, in any way possible, results will be tremendous. Advancement. That's why taking the responsibility to assist the representative as a tremendous benefits. Tremendous benefits. It advances very quickly. So that is what I can tell Bhavi Prabhu. Is that okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing.
Anybody else? If not, we'll conclude today's session. Okay. Thank you all for joining. Andras,